Hey, what's going on, guys? So it's a rainy day today, no real work, so we're going to talk about the 6-liter Power Stroke. Okay, so 6-liter Power Stroke, that's one of the cheapest diesels to get. And there's a few reasons why. We're going to talk about those in a minute. Okay, so the main reason the 6-liter Power Stroke is so cheap is due to the problems it's known to have. But if those problems are fixed, it's a really good truck, okay? Especially for the price that you'll be able to find it. So today, that's what I'm going to go over, is what to look for when buying a used 6-liter Power Stroke diesel. First off, make sure it's got a little monitor installed if you go to look at one or drive it. If not, I suggest you get one of these. It's called Scan Gauge 2. It's $154. You can get them at AutoZone, Advance, whatever. I ordered this one from Bulletproof Diesel. It comes pre-programmed just for this, so I knew exactly that it would have everything already set up to look at and monitor. Because if not, you have to enter the PID stuff to monitor it. If you just go and buy it from Advance, you have to program that yourself. But this is very important when you have these trucks. So these three gauges right here, okay, you've got your volts. You never want that to exceed like 14, 16. You know, if you're just cruising around, you want it to stay between 12 and 14 if you're just driving normally. Okay, your pyrometer, you don't want that to be too crazy either. And this is your boost, of course. Okay, so this one measures the temperatures, your exhaust gas temperatures, and you don't want that to be very high. Okay, so if you're driving it and you notice it's like up there in the 14s all the time, and the truck's barely, you ain't drove it very far or anything, you're not lead footing it, okay, that's a problem. Make sure that the truck is not overheating. Now, sometimes the gauges can be off, okay? So, that's important to have the monitor. Hopefully the guy that you're going to look at the truck for has a monitor. If not, go get you one of these. They were like 150 some bucks at Advance, I think. Maybe 170, something like that. But get one, it can monitor engine temps, and that is very important. Also, when you go to look at these trucks, you'll hear the term bulletproof. Okay, somebody says it's bulletproof, that means it's got ARP head studs, possible EGR delete, stuff like that. So let's take a look and I'll show you how to check for that. Okay, for your EGR delete, right down here there'll be a cap. Okay, this is a Sinister Diesel EGR delete, so you'll have a cap where the EGR valve is. And that's one way to let you know if it's deleted. Okay, so that's right there. Okay, right here, I'm going to try and pick it up on camera. I don't know if you can see it. There's these bolts down here. Let's see. That bolt right there in the middle, I don't know if you can tell, it's got like an Allen head on that type of bolt. That is a head stud. That's what you want to look for. That you can usually find that right below the degas bottle on these. Okay? Now, just because those are there doesn't mean it's been actually done professionally, okay? You've got to have head studs inside on the actual head. Those outside ones can be done by anybody, it's not that hard. So just because the outside ones are there doesn't mean that the inside head studs are there. The ones inside the valve cover. So be aware of that. Okay, so the main problems with these trucks are, of course, the head gaskets. Okay, so if it's got the ARP head studs, that's one thing. It means it's probably been fixed. But you also want to look around the degas bottle here. Make sure there's not coolant overflowing, okay? If it's spewing out there, or you let it get up to operating temperature and you drove it and you come back and pop a hood and there's coolant everywhere, that's a bad sign, okay? Run away. Chances are it needs a head gasket, okay? Now, sometimes the caps, just a little $10 cap here, is the cause of the leak. They're prone to not holding pressure. I use a stamped cap and it works pretty good, and that was the issue with mine. And also they changed a lot of people don't know, they changed the level. Okay, you never want to have it at the max line. You always want to have it at the minimum cold on these. If you get it to the max line, it will spew out regardless. It'll be over full, so keep that in mind. Okay, now do the obvious. Check the battery terminals. Make sure there's no corrosion. That can lead to hard starts, no starts, stuff like that. Check for leaks. Try and get it. If you go to look at the truck, make sure it's on a paved surface. Notice when you pull up if there's any leaks. Drive it, park it in the same spot. Check, see if there's any leaks afterwards. Stuff like that, you know. A lot of your main issues with these trucks will be from the ICP sensor, which on the late 04 and ups are right here on the passenger valve cover behind this tubing here, and your IPR valve, which is right back here behind the degas bottle. You're probably not going to see that, but it's back in there. Yeah, you're not going to see it, but it's back in there. And the Fickum. Fickum is right behind here. There it is. This thing right there. It controls your injectors. Those are usually the cause of most of your problems or issues. Okay, that's pretty well what to look for when you're buying one of these trucks. It's a pretty good entry-level investment for your business as far as diesels go. Dodge, they're usually priced really high, and you know, same for Chevys, but you can usually find the 6-liter pretty cheap. So if you bring your own monitor, look at the ICP, the IPR, engine coolant temps, Fickum sync, Fickum volts, okay? You want the Fickum sync to say yes, you want, or 1 on the monitor depending. Okay, you want the Fickum volts to be 48 or higher. Some Fickums, especially aftermarket, they go into the 50s on the volts, and that's okay, that's good. Just never below 48. You know, 47 is one thing, but you don't want it to be like lower than that. You don't really want it to be lower than 47, okay? Your ICP pressure, it needs to be 500 just to start, okay? Just to start the truck, it's got to be at 500. So anything above that's pretty good when starting, okay? Your IPR, you never want the IPR to be 15% or 85%. Okay, one's fully open, one's fully closed. Okay, if it's anywhere close to that, chances are it needs an IPR, or that's going bad, okay? There's a screen on the IPRs. A lot of times it gets clogged, gets a hole in it, causes you all kinds of problems. Okay, but if you monitor those things with these trucks, keep an eye on it, okay, you'll be fine. Because a lot of times, most of your problems with these trucks are due to the ICP, IPR, or the Fickum, okay? Those are a lot to do with the problems in these trucks, okay? Other than the head gasket, that's the major issue that everybody's scared of, okay? If it's got head studs and there's no coolant coming out after you put your foot to the floor and you've drove it for a little bit, let it get warmed up, you know, you're looking at the engine temps, they're not overheating, chances are you're good on that, okay? So don't freak out over that. Fuel mileage on these trucks is really good. especially compared to a V8. So if you're using it for your business, you're hauling stuff, you're going back and forth, okay, consider it. It's really good fuel mileage. It's a smaller size diesel engine compared to some like the 7.3 and stuff, so fuel mileage is pretty good. If you bought a 6-liter Power Stroke, let me know in the comments. Tell me what you think about it and how you've liked owning it and stuff so far. And that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.